Hey guys, Jason here with Why We Will Win This Week, and I guess we got to recap what happened last week against Oklahoma State. Look, we didn't play very well, and we really suffered in the first half from not having our starting cornerbacks in because they were late to the practice. And so consequently, we fell behind very quickly and then managed to try to surge back in the second half, but just fell a little bit short. And I think the only good takeaway I've got for this game is that we managed to come so close to winning and putting the tie together so that we could go into overtime, yet we didn't quite get there despite how badly we played. So I guess if you can call that a good thing, that's a good thing. I think we all knew that was going to be a very difficult game in Stillwater. Always is. Those guys are very well coached, and hats off to them. They did a great job. Now we got to bounce back. I think Tom Herman and company know exactly how important this game is this week. It's hard to overstate. You know, a couple of short weeks ago, we were both in the top 10. Now we're both in the top 20 because we've suffered our first losses. But to me, in essence, this is the semifinal game for the Big 12 championship. If we beat West Virginia, then we've got a win over West Virginia, we've got a win over Oklahoma, and if we can manage to do what we should do for the rest of the games, we're going to have a clear path into the Big 12 championship. And I think that was part of the goal that Tom Herman set for the team at the very beginning of the year, and it's still attainable, except it all comes down to this weekend and what we've got to get done. Will Grier, great quarterback. I think if you go back and look at the highlights of the Iowa State versus West Virginia game, what you saw was that their defensive front was really getting after Will Grier, not letting him get his feet set, not letting him get his eyes downfield, but really pressuring him, and came up big with 7 sacks. I think we've got to do the same thing if we're going to have the same kind of results. Also, their offense was terrible. They only managed the other 7 points on the block kick with a return for a touchdown. And so their offense only scored 7 points that game, with 7 points coming from the special teams. I think we could probably do the same thing. I've got a lot of faith in our defense. I think the front 3, 4 are going to get after him, and they're going to cause the same kind of havoc that the Iowa State line did. So let's say our defense is going to be a big key to it. I'm also looking for Sam Ehlinger to continue to look sharp. I saw zero evidence of that sprain. He had very crisp passing, probably one of the best passes he's thrown all year to Keontae Ingram for that touchdown, and some drops by Little J and Colin Johnson, but I think this week they get that solved. So we're going to have some much more sure hands from big Colin Johnson and little Jordan Humphrey. They're going to be much bigger than their West Virginia defensive backs, so I think they're going to push them around. And so between Sam Ehlinger, the receivers, and the defensive front, that's why we will win this week. Take care, guys.